Hi everyone, this is daveac and this is my vblog 156 for Friday the 15th of July 2011, and it's all about quality sport, quality tech, quality music and wine. And just to tell you about that, listen to this. Oh, beautiful. I'll tell you what it is in a moment. But the first night of the proms here in the UK has just got underway. And let's hear this lovely piano by the young Benjamin Groves now. I hope the mic's picking this up. Oh, it's beautiful. And I'll have to fade it down, I'm afraid. Oh, lovely. Yes, what it is, first night of the proms. The proms go in the UK all the way through to the 10th of September. And this young lad is the youngest solo artist, I believe, to open the proms. And he was actually a young musician finalist when he was only about 8. No, it must have been about 13 or 14. It was way back in the 2003, 2004 or whatever. So I do remember seeing him before, but he's playing Liszt Piano Concerto number 2 in A major. And just to remind you, on episode 51 of this very vlog, I actually played John Ogden playing in actual fact, I played him playing the first piano concerto. Let's just hear a little bit of John Ogden playing that. See if I can find, let's go, yeah, the second movement, I think. So I should have got to a solo piano piece now. I'll just do it on one more part. I'll have to stop it there. Yes, that's a lovely CD, John Ogden. Let me just bring it close so it will focus for you. And it was Liszt Piano Concerto number 2. I was just playing there, the same as the young Benjamin is playing at the night of the proms. Well, I said quality this is about. I've just been watching some marvellous quality sport. Yes, I've been watching the British Open Golf second round, and that has been really amazing. It's a really open field this year. Luke Donald, one of my favourites, unfortunately didn't get through to the cut. I think the cut's been made at 3 over par, and I think he just missed that. We've got Darren Clark in the lead at 4 under with Glover, not sure of his first name, and then a lot of people on 300, 200, 1 under. One of my other favourites is there, Jimenez, the Spanish golfer, and Phil Mickelson is there, Garcia is there. McIlroy is on level par, so he didn't quite do so well today. And there's a young amateur as well doing extremely well. Young lad named after, actually named after Tom Watson, I believe. Now, where is he? Lost him. I think it's Luke Wilson. No, that's not. Where's he gone? Can't find it. But if you go to newsbbc.co.uk sport, and you'll find the list there. But really, it's been a beautiful day's golfing. They're not so sure of the weather for the next couple of days, but if you've got some spare time on your hand, try and view it, especially on the high definition, or maybe even just give it a listen on the radio. And that's the other thing I've got to talk about today. Yes, high quality sport, high quality music. What about high quality TV? Well, there's a slightly better hope for it here in the UK. And thanks to a tweet I was pointed to by Tim Jury, it appears that the lady Daniela Nagler, who has been recently in charge of BBC HD and BBC's fledgling 3D TV, has now left the company to pursue another job. And I'm afraid to say, although I'm sure the woman worked extremely hard trying to bring TV to our screens, she didn't appear to understand the needs or the desires of the people who watch high definition television, because they always seem to be trying to get away with the lowest quality that they could on the bitrate. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that high definition television isn't definitely worth watching as against standard TV, especially the larger the TV is that you use. But they've successively, drastically cut the bit rates, sometimes by a savage 30 or 40%, simply because they'd had new encoders. But the new encoders, before they had even bedded in, were having to cope with a far less bit rate to work. There's also, excuse me, I have to have a drink of water. There's also been an ongoing argument by a lot of us fans to the BBC that they are not showing BBC HD in the full 1920 by 1080 screen. They've been using 1440 by 1080 and then using an anamorphic stretch on that. The reason, of course, is that they've got some older HD cameras that actually won't resolve more than 1440 lines. That's their argument. Excuse me, it's rather late in the evening. It's coming up towards 9 in the evening, so I'm going to carry on. Sorry about those coughs. So let's get back. We've talked about quality music. We've talked about quality sport. Let me talk about quality podcasting. Oh yes, there is. For instance, Doctor Who Podshock has now put out, or Lewis has now put out, episode 251, and this is titled Doctor Who Fandom on Second Life and Beyond, featuring the Doctor Who fandom panel on Second Life, and it's got various guests on that. So give and have a listen. Of course, you can subscribe to the Doctor Who Podshop on iTunes, and of course listen to it directly on podshock.net. The Cotton Collective, we've been busy. Ian and myself have been busy. Last Sunday we did our episode 107, Creatures of Myth and Fantasy. Went just over the 2-hour mark, and we ran the whole gamut of little mischievous elf and creatures that are up to mischief, all the way through to really serious heavy baddies, to beautiful creatures of fantasy like unicorns and so on. So I hope you will give that a listen. And we also, along with Mike Randall 4, did another of our commentaries. Remember, we're back on Doctor Who. We're on Series 4 of Doctor Who. And we did this week, and it went up on Wednesday, episode 2 of Series 4, The Fires of Pompeii. Hope you will give that a listen. So, yes, and we've been rather busy with that. Well, what else? Well, I am jumping about. First of all, quality music, quality sport, quality classic Doctor Who. I haven't got round to finishing, I'm afraid, The Planet of the Spiders, to give one more little go on it and give a sort of an idea of whether you should buy the DVD. Actually, I think you should buy the DVD, but I think I should get to the end of it and then recommend it to you. But what I want to just mention also is, while I'm talking about podcasts, I want to give a shout out to Robert Carey King, who does a podcast on TalkShoe. It's show ID 22756. It's called the Doctor Who Review Today. And in a few days' time, as I record this on the 21st of July, Now the time's going to be a bit difficult for some because he's doing it at midnight Eastern Daylight Time. So if you're in the UK, obviously that's going to be 5 a.m. But depending on where you are in the world, Australia or New Zealand or whatever, it may be a suitable time for you to check. And he's doing a review of Planet of the Spiders. So perhaps you'll give either try and get on the call live, or perhaps give his show a listen to later. That's Doctor Who Review Today on TalkShoe ID 22756 with Robert Carey King doing it. But Robert comes quite often onto the Cult and Collective, and so I wanted to give a shout out to that particular one talking about Planet of the Spiders. Okay, I'm just going to consult my notes. As you can see, I'm doing this a little bit more off the cuff than normal today. I should have just mentioned, by the way, that when I was talking about the golf, 140th championship that's being challenged today. It's been running for 150 years, but of course with 2 world wars, they missed out 10 years. So this is the 140th Golf Open Championship. Okay, oh, and yes, one more mention of the Planet of the Spiders. When I mentioned, I think I said Sergeant Yates, and I should have said Captain Yates, along, of course, with Sarah Jane Smith. That was in the clip that I showed. Okay, well, I think all that talking, I'm going to go straight to my wine. And when I bought a little bottle last week, I bought 2, in fact, and this is the other one. So we're going to use that. And if you noticed, I haven't actually opened this one. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Anyway, it's J.P. Chenet, is that how you pronounce it? Merlot. Vin de Pays d'Orc. It's focused. Oh, my nails are clean. Oh, there's no real label. Now, I didn't even notice that. Let me have a look. It's 13.5%. And I can't see a year on it. There's it's just under 1/3 of a bottle. It's actually more like a quarter bottle. This. Well, the reason I haven't opened it is the whole point of these is for little, garden parties or for picnics. And obviously, if you're going on a picnic, you're not going to have the wine open. You're going to basically get to the picnic, break the screw cap, pour yourself a good measure of the wine, maybe in this case the whole bottle, and you're going to say to your friends, well, cheers, pass me a sausage roll. Well, let's have a little sniff. Quite musty, actually. I'm not getting a lot of fruit, obviously. I've just opened it. It's at room temperature, by the way. Now, what do I think of that? Well, it's got a lot of ripe berry fruit in it. Obviously, Merlot is like that. What else am I getting from it? Well, actually, not a lot. Oh, it is 2010. It says on the neck of the bottle, 2010. I would say that is just a general. If you ever go into a reasonably priced restaurant or pub, and they sell wine by the glass, and you say, I'll have a glass of the red, and they say, well, do you want the Shiraz or the Merlot? You'd probably be getting something like this. It's tastes like, to me, a fairly basic house red. That means inoffensive, not complex, easy drinking, and certainly the picnic would go down reasonably well. It cost just £1.50 at this little bottle, cheaper than the other one, which was, I think, £2. So £1.50, that's that's more than $1, isn't it? It's just over $2. So probably you could get this for $1.50 in the States, I would think. So £1.50. Usually the best thing with these small bottles, by the way, is to get 6 bottles, and quite often they'll let you have 6 for the price of 5. So it might cost you like something like £8, and for £8 you'll get 6 little bottles, and maybe for £6.50. One more taste. It's drinkable. It's nothing special. It would be ideal for an outdoor little meal. Definitely something to be eaten with a nice cold cut sandwich or some chicken, or a nice little pork pie or something. Well, with that, a rather ill-prepared but quality daveac vblog 156. Oh, one more error to just mention. Some people may have seen last week's episode, which was episode 155, showing us just episode 55. I did correct it, but on one of the feeds it went out as vblog at 55. Apologies for that. Anyway, that's it for me. It's 16 minutes. Time to get back to Last Night of the Promise. Let's see if we can play ourselves out, can we? Oh.
Comes YouTube Yellow daveac with tonight's The Soloists.
Well, they're just coming back on stage for the second half. So, if you'll excuse me, I want to get back to the proms. Catch you next week. Bye, all.